r/ask Reddit. What actually 100% lived up to the hype? Having your own place to live without roommates. Bro, I so cannot wait for this. Loud and messy roommates or housemates are annoying. I live alone, and I gotta say, it's awesome. But without any incentive to clean or organize, things get messy quick. Both Hubble and Kepler space telescopes, deep field images showing thousands of galaxies in just a tiny patch of sky, and the discovery of thousands of exoplanets that are so different from planets in our own solar system. What better could astronomers hope to find up there? The HST in particular is something else. It has greatly outlived its expected service time and brings us amazing pictures to this day. I hope the JWST can be that great if it ever gets up there. I did a project in 9th grade on the JWST, and I'm still negatively chuffed that most of my classmates didn't appreciate the sheer coolness of it. First time I loaded up Google Earth on a tablet, I knew I had officially reached living in the future status. Try loading it up in VR. It's this, but on steroids. Growing up in the big city, or what we'd consider to be one out here, I had never had an interest in nature or outside. One day after school, my parents arrived as usual. What was unusual was the fully packed car. Understanding hits me like a truck. Camping? Oh no, not a plushy electric camping experience, my father confirms. We're going to Botswana, the true great outdoors. I sulk, of course. All the way there, we get to, well, wherever we were, set up camp, and I jump straight in my tent to continue my pity party. Some hours later and my parents still haven't lit a fire. I can hear their voices faintly, upset, but more because of their disregard for my tantrum. I emerge from the tent and all thoughts of my remarks disappear. The sight that greets me is, for lack of a better word, awesome. Stars. More than I thought possible. They covered every inch of my vision from one horizon to the other behind me. Between the blanket of stars, nebulae of every color are visible. My father laughs at my expression as I desperately crane my neck to see it all. Lem tell you folks, perfectly dark night sky 100% lives up to the hype. I remember having this experience at a school camp. I was hoping my daughter would get the same experience, but the camps now seem to go to other cities, which is sad, and also concerning as it means I might have to take her camping. Therapy. Yeah, that's sappy as hell, but it made me feel a lot better. Still working on myself, but my psychologist is a sin and she does all she can to help. I love this. I finally started seeing a therapist after being in denial of my depression for over a year, and the right one makes all the difference. Therapy is something everyone should try, I think. You never know what good can come out of it. Into the Spider-Verse. As a 37-year-old comic fan, it made me happy to live in this version of reality. Being healthy. It feels so good to feel good. I thought I would hate cutting out soda and junk food because they taste so good and made me happy. But I was so heavy. Knee pain. Couldn't sleep. Miserable most of the time. Now it's normal to just feel good. It's actually crazy to think I lived like that for so long. It's worth it to put the effort into your health. Who cares if it takes a long time? You'll thank yourself. A quote that's always stuck with me is, you have no idea how good your body is designed to make you feel. Dungeons and Dragons. I lived with a friend at university who, back in the days of 3.5e, would suggest every weekend that we played a game. I had no interest in spending my Saturday afternoons pretending to be an elf or whatever the duck you were supposed to do when you played. No, thank you. Then I actually tried it a year or two ago, and it's dope. Sit around with friends, talk some shit, eat some cheese, drink some beers, kill some imaginary goblins. With 3 months I was deeming, and now I have more dice than I know what to do with, and a folder on my desktop devoted to all the games I know I'm never going to get around to playing. All because adult scheduling is the true BBEG. Yeah, I really want to get into it, but I don't know anyone else who plays and it looks so fun. Visiting Japan. Used to be kind of a weeb when I was a teen, but that phase died out when I grew into my 20s. My so and I planned a trip to see my brother and his Japanese GF just to stay in touch, even though I would have rather loved to see Florence or Marrakesh instead, but boy oh boy was I wrong. Japan really brought the kid inside me out again. Edit. Even though I couldn't care less about anime. Wife and I went for our 10 years anniversary, man. It well exceeded my expectations. Amazing food, cool concepts, friendly people. We went for 2.5 weeks and visited 5 different cities, already planning on making a return trip. Antibiotics. Thanks to Alexander Fleming, Mr. Selman Abraham Waxman, Hello Pierre, the numerous men of bacterial culture, and of course Louis Pasteur. On that same note, vaccines. It's pretty bad us not getting polio. The Instant Pot, at least for me, I use that thing all the time. Totally worth every cent, and I turned my family onto the Instant Pot as well. Love my Instant Pot too. I got one sent from the UK to the USA so it could be shipped to me in Australia by my family. I hadn't tried one yet, but it 100% lived up to my expectations and exceeded them entirely. Flash forward a year. Fires all around our area. I decide to pack the car with suitcase and anything I wouldn't want to lose be without. Photos, passport, birth cert, Instant Pot, putting in a frozen lump of meat without defrosting, and 45 minutes later coming back to a perfect slow cooked like meal is revolutionary. Then to keep it at perfect temp until you're ready to eat it. Then the whole thing can be put in the dishwasher once done. Raving. Sonic redesign. B-Day. So far, The Mandalorian. Yes, The Mandalorian is so good, I didn't know what to expect. But so far it has exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect that ending to the first episode, so I'm intrigued of where they're going with it. The Nintendo Switch. I hadn't bought a Nintendo system since the GameCube. I wasn't thrilled about the Wii or the Wii U, so I was hesitant to buy into Nintendo's new system when it was announced. I bought it and was 100% back as a Nintendo fanboy. That system is fantastic. The fact that it is both portable and a home console is amazing to me. And yes, it is underpowered compared to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but it makes up for it in its versatility. Also, I can turn it off instantly and come back to exactly where I left off. Brilliant. My wife's deviled eggs. She talked these things up for months when we first started dating. Her mom talked about them. Her dad, her sister, everyone in her family loves them. Then I ate one. It was life-changing. I can totally relate. When I met my ex, he wouldn't shut up about making the best scrambled eggs. And I was skeptical because I thought there is nothing special about scrambled eggs. When he finally made them for me, they were the best eggs I've had my whole life. Duck you cheating lying prick. But you do make the best scrambled eggs. I dated that guy too. He had lots of practice making those awesome scrambled eggs for all the other women he was sleeping with. Visiting Machu Picchu and other Inca ruins. It was amazing. They don't tell you that there are just random llamas grazing on these ancient stone terraces, or that there are huge blue butterflies everywhere, or about the tourist city that has sprung up around the ruins of Machu Picchu, or about how crazy the city of Lima is. The Breaking Bad series finale. There were like 4 different episodes in that final season where they could have ended it and we would have walked away satisfied. The last episode of season 4 would have been a great finale. The last episode of season 5 was a great finale. El Camino was great. And there were several episodes in season 5 that they could have ended it. They should have brought Vince Gilligan on for the final Game of Thrones season. Squatty potty. Let that hate flow right out of you. Oh god, yes. First I thought it was a bit daft, but an awesome advert. Then tried one. We humans poo so wrong. Every toilet should have one as standard. IT has improved my heath massively, but it's also why most people are full of shit. They poo wrong. My very first trip to Manhattan, my sister and I booked a 10-day stay at the Roosevelt in Midtown. We landed LaGuardia from Dallas and the airport employees were super friendly when they saw me in my UT Dallas hoodie. I even got a hug. Like, what? So we go out of the terminal and the car service to Manhattan calls us to let us know they overbooked and ran out of sedans and SUVs. So they sent a stretch limo to pick us up. The trip was full of lucky turns. We got very last minute front and center seats to the Radio City Rockettes for $60 each. The city just lived up to every expectation I had since childhood. I love it. Did you drive through Times Square and stick your head up through the sunroof? By law, you are required to do so. Breath of the Wild. The first Deadpool movie, I was worried as duck that it wasn't gonna be violent, crude, or emotional, but it checked off every box. The point where I knew it was gonna be great was when Deadpool dropped into the SUV, and the one goon got thrown out and ducking splatted on the freeway sign. Google Glass. Haha, just ducking, kidding. Logan. One of my favorite movies of all time. When the movie began with Logan slashing up the carjackers on screen for once, I knew it was going to be amazing. The first book in the Hunger Games trilogy. Smart devices, but especially smartphones. I remember watching the keynote in 2007 and thinking this was just an Apple gimmick. 12 years later and there's no way I'd willingly go back to not having my smartphone. I wouldn't be typing this right now. I kept telling my girlfriend how good anal sex feels, and I finally got her to try it with me. I think she was liking it more than I did. She came. I came and I can't wait for my butthole to stop hurting so we can try it again. Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. I was excited for it from the first trailer and it's been my favorite game ever since it came out. The original Star Wars films. Didn't get around to seeing them till college, and just made my roommate watch them for the first time. Halo 3. Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse. Didn't think I could possibly like a superhero movie to the point of watching it 6 times, forcing all of my friends to watch it and listening to the soundtrack on repeat. My animation major friend kept raving about it and I promised I'd eventually watch it. When I did, I was in shock at how good it was. The Gorge. Everyone here in WA hypes it up as one of the best concert venues in the world. It really is breathtaking the first time you step over the hill and see the sprawling landscape. Next on the list is Red Rocks. I hear that that's the only other venue that really compares in terms of natural beauty. Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, and Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. Seeing Metallica live certainly lived up to the hype. All those years really added up to a memorable experience, and they played like every damned hit song. It was like watching a highlight reel. They played for hours and took breaks. 7 out of 7. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young at Red Rocks. Duck and Rain X. Shit sounds like it should be sold through an infomercial, but it really does improve visibility when it's rainy by adding a Teflon-like coating to your windshield. You don't need to use your wipers as often cause it just slides right off your windshield as you're going down the road. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.